Hi, this is Katie Ethington. I am just like to quickly talk about week 10 and a few things that we went over. So, starting with the Noodles and Company case, I believe this is a really interesting case as for how do you want to grow a company? What type of company do you want to own? And I landed on the side of let's franchise because reading through everything, it looked like the best way to expand at the growth rate that they wanted and to meet their goals. So, personally, I think that that was kind of the way I was going to go. And I was really strong on that point. Now, with that one, I do believe that if you're opening up a type of business like that, you do have to be open to ideas and kind of go, if I do this, what are the things that are most important? What are the things that have to be the same no matter where this business is? Because I obviously won't be running each of those franchises. So, what are the things that I'm going to say? If you want to own part of my business, you're going to have to do this. And you're going to have to meet these guidelines. And you're going to have to follow these rules. So, that's the question I'd add for that case. Now, as for the case for Progreso Financiero, this one is a little bit different. And I would I'd say with this one is if you're opening up a business and you're planning on having a sales force, you have to find a way to motivate that sales force. And I think that's a really important question to ask is when I start this business, how am I going to get people to be invested in? It's going to, obviously depend on the company's size and what type of sales force are you employing. So, like for example, these is obviously a very cheap work source. They're working for basically minimum wage, and they have commissions. So with this one, I was going, you know what? For these guys, let's give them instant gratification. Let's say instead of waiting until like the middle of the month where maybe you'll get your commissions and maybe you won't. Let's make it so every single sale counts. So, yeah, if you want that money, let's get you that money. And let's get that to you now. As opposed to, I'd say, if you have more of a sales force where it's based off of clients and their own, like, their own list and portfolio, their client book, then it might be based more of, okay, let's give you bonuses. Let's focus on that. Commissions, nice, but let's kind of base it off of some other criteria and make it a little bit more weighted and a little bit more complex. And, you know, really does depend on what type of sales force you're working with. And of course, obviously, you'd have to be opening up a company that's going to be big enough for a sales force. But with this one, I'd say the two questions I want to focus on here is what things are the most important and core things to your company. It has to be the same no matter what type of stores you're opening and where they're opening. And how do you motivate your sales force if you open up a company that needs one? Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good week.